updates. However, for our next story, we move to South America, where Brazil's Supreme Court issued search warrants and restraining orders against Bolsonaro, banning him from contacting foreign officials over allegations he had courted the interference of Trump. Federal police raided Bolsonaro's home and put him in an ankle monitor. He was also banned from using social media, approaching embassies, and from contacting key allies, including his son Eduardo, a Brazilian congressman who has been lobbying in Washington to help his father. In an interview, Bolsonaro called Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes a dictator and described the latest court orders as acts of cowardice aimed at the former president's supreme humiliation. Bolsonaro also denied having plans to leave. Meanwhile, even after Brazil's Supreme Court barred him on Friday from contact with foreign officials, the ex-president insisted that he wants to meet with US President Donald Trump. Trump has slapped a 50% tariff on Brazilian goods last week and demanded an end to Bolsonaro's trial for trying to overturn the last election. He even cast himself as the man to renegotiate US tariffs, curb Chinese influence and beat back leftists in Brazil. Let's in fact listen in to his statements.
Surpresa, mas a gente espera tudo, né? Tudo pode acontecer com esse ministro Alexandre de Moraes. Então, em cima desse inquérito que o Eduardo está respondendo há 2 meses, essa busca e apreensão. Eu estou, então, segundo Alexandre de Moraes, incluído no plano criminoso do Eduardo, que atenta contra a Constituição brasileira, passaporte, pediria uma audiência para o presidente Donald Trump, pediria, tá? E ele concedendo ia conversar sobre questões do Brasil.
Meanwhile, the United States will revoke visas from other 7 justices of the Brazilian Supreme Court, in addition to Judge Alexandre de Moraes. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced earlier the immediate visa revocations from Morales and his allies on the court, as well as their immediate family members, citing court orders against former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. We're now joined by Ambassador Suresh Goel, who's a former diplomat. He joins us live from New Delhi. Ambassador Goel, thank you very much for joining us on the program. What does this situation say about the current state of Brazilian politics, and also the fact that Donald Trump has been cited so many times in regards to an ongoing civil legal dispute there?
I think what is happening now in Brazil is pretty much the contest between Bolsonaro and Lula, and it is not new. It has been there for the last several years. They have contested against each other before also. Lula has been president before. And there are camps in Brazil which are both against each other. And this is going to go on. But clearly, Bolsonaro has been a supporter of the USA. And for some reason, I think Trump does feel an obligation to support him and protect him from what he sees as a Brazilian kind of retribution, crusade, whatever you want to call it. And Trump, I find, he all said and done, even if he is very volatile and he's very transactional, he's also a strong... Yes.
Ambassador Goel, can I just rephrase something? How unprecedented is it for Donald Trump to slap 50% tariffs on a country in regards for their leader, who's no longer in power, who was voted out of power, who they're going to now base their trade policy around?
I think for a normal political metrics, I would call it unprecedented. But coming from Trump, I'm not surprised at all. That's how I would put it. Trump has imposed duties or has threatened to impose duties on BRICS member countries, including Brazil, has threatened to impose duty of 50% on Brazil. But therefore, I'm not at all surprised about this action of Trump. But what I can see happening now really is a strong alienation even within Brazil against Trump, really. And that is not at all does not portend well, because particularly Brazil is an important partner in Latin America for the North Americans. Canada, USA, both of them really. Important player on the multilateral front, important partner of the regional security, NAFTA, etc. And therefore, I would say that what is happening is not surprising, but rather worrying.
Yes, indeed. Ambassador Goel, thank you very much. You are staying with us to discuss further updates. We once again